Nearly 1,000 animal coins just from the Hazmat journal alone. Chat, this gotta be the new best way to grind an animal hospital right now. That is why today, I'm starting a guide series to help you collect every single one, starting with the biggest gold mine, the achievements category, which hands out a massive 736 animal coins. And trust me, these missions are a complete roller coaster. Half of them are ridiculously simple, like repairing a broken camera or rejecting a patient at the door. But then out of nowhere, you're hit with a task that sounds downright impossible. Survive all the way to 15th shift with 0 coffee and 0 chocolate. So how do you clear this crazy list without losing your mind? Here is the absolute easiest way to do every single one of them. Let's start with the easy tier. These achievements pay out between 5 and 10 coins, and honestly, you can get almost all of these done in your very first shift. First up is No One Will Know, worth 5 animal coins. The requirement is to trash a fainted animal. The easiest way to do this is immediately on shift 1. If you are playing as the security class or the secret agent, you spawn into the game holding a taser or a gun. You don't need to do anything yet. Just walk into the main lobby where the patients are waiting, find one, and incapacitate them. Once they are down on the ground, you pick up their body, carry it over to the trash bin, and throw them in. Once they are disposed of, the achievement unlocks. Right along those same lines is the next achievement, Friendly Fire. This also pays out 5 animal coins. For this one, you have to shoot a teammate with a gun or tase a teammate with a taser. Again, this is best done immediately on shift 1. If you are security or the agent, you just turn to the person standing next to you in the lobby and fire. Once you tag them with the taser or shoot them, the achievement pops up. Don't worry about ruining the game, because after they receive the badge, your teammate will automatically revive after a few seconds. It's just a quick quest to get the coin. Next, we have the Maple Trick, which is worth 10 coins. To get this, you have to approach the bed monster's red hitbox while holding maple syrup. You know the bed monster, the hand that grabs patients under the bed. You don't need to do anything complex. Just go to the med shelf, get a bottle of maple syrup, hold it in your hand, and walk near the bed where the monster is active. Once the monster grabs the bottle, the game will register that you have completed it and you get the reward. Similar to that one is the Ritual Trick, which also gives you 10 animal coins. For this, you need to use IV drops or eye drops in the Ritual's candles. You know the ritual room that sometimes spawns in the hospital. All you have to do is go in there, make sure you have either IV drops or eye drops in your inventory, and then put out the candles that are part of the ritual setup, using the IV drops or the eye drops. I'm not sure if coffee is counted, so you should just IV drops or eye drops instead. And staying on the topic of drops, we have eye drops for Eye Monster, which is another 10 animal coin achievement. You know that giant mass of eyes that appears in the ceiling sometimes. You don't need to look away from it now. Instead, get a bottle of eye drops in your hand and use them on the monster. It's like you're soothing it. Once you do that interaction, the achievement is yours. Now let's move on to some even easier ones that you might just get by playing normally. The Camera Fixer achievement gives you 5 animal coins. You just have to fix a camera. During the shift, the cameras around the hospital will break periodically. Just walk up to a broken camera and hold the interact button to fix it. Another one is Waster, which also gives you 5 animal coins. For this one, you need to throw away 15 items. You don't have to do this all at once, but I think you should. Just grab some random items from the med shelf and drop them into the trash bin. Once you've disposed of 15 items total across all your games, the coin is yours. And the last one in this easy group is the Rejector, which is another 5 coins. You just have to reject anomalies. When a patient comes in and you check on them and realize they are clearly an anomaly, they're glitching or have the wrong head, you just hit the reject button on the admission panel. Just do it once and the achievement unlocks. Alright, now we are going to step it up to the medium tier. These are still very doable, but they require a bit more planning or luck. These pay out between 10 and 25 coins. First, we have Coffee for the Visitor, which is worth 10 animal coins. The requirement here is to ask Headbanger to leave while holding coffee. Headbanger is the anomaly that looks like a black-eyed mimic and bangs their head against the check-in window. When they come in as a patient, you have to ask them to leave. But the trick is, you have to be holding a cup of coffee when you do it. Just grab a coffee right from the first shift and keep it in your inventory. Don't drink the whole thing. Take 2 sips so it's still there. Then, if the headbanger shows up in the second or third shift, you can grab the half-empty cup and tell him to leave. Next, we have Wrong Treatment, Right Target, which gets you 10 coins. To get this, you have to unalive an anomaly with the wrong treatment. This means you have to correctly identify a patient as an anomaly, but then deliberately give them the wrong cure that is meant to kill them, rather than the correct cure that would send them on their way. My advice here is to pick a visually mutated mimic to make sure even if you forget him, you wouldn't make any mistake. It's counterintuitive, but it's an easy coin once you know which patient is which. Then we've got the Ghost Hunter achievement, which pays out 15 animal coins. For this one, you need to scan the ghost with a scanner, making it disappear. If you are playing as the secret agent class, this is very easy. You start with a gun, so you can just go into a room, eliminate a patient, wait for the ghost to spawn from the body, and then immediately pull out your scanner and scan it. If you aren't the secret agent, you have to rely on the supply shop. You need to wait until the shop sells the scanner, buy it with $150, and then find a ghost to scan. Scanning the ghost doesn't use up the scanner's battery, so you can scan as many ghosts as you need. Here is one that is pure luck, the Tiny Anomaly achievement. It only pays out 1 animal coin, so you can just left it there to be honest. You have to encounter and check in a tiny anomaly. There is no skill involved here, and no specific strategy other than playing the game a lot. Now, the last two in this medium tier are probably the most frustrating because they are entirely dependent on luck. These are Bed Monster Attack Hydra and Bed Monster Attack Mimic. They both pay out 25 animal coins each. The requirement for both is to lure a Hydra or a Mimic into getting snatched by the Bed Monster. The problem here is that you need 3 specific things to happen simultaneously. First, you need a bed monster to spawn under a patient bed. Second, you need either a Hydra anomaly or a Mimic anomaly to spawn in the hospital. And third, you need to be near that bed with that specific anomaly so you can herd them into the bed monster's attack zone. When all 3 align, you have to sprint past the bed and hope the anomaly follows you closely enough to get grabbed by the monster instead of you. Alright, moving on to the harder tier. These are achievements that require a significant investment of time, coordination, or money within the game. First up is Rich Employees, which pays out 15 animal coins. To get this, you have to buy all upgrades in the supply shop. There are 11 different types of upgrades you can buy, and the total cost is $18 to $40. Trying to do that by yourself in a single run is difficult unless you survive for a very long time. The easiest, and really the only sensible way to do this, is to play with a full team of 4 people. You coordinate with your squad, and you split the costs. If you communicate and share the financial burden, you can usually get all the upgrades purchased by around 10th shift or so, and everyone gets the achievement. Next in this tier is the Lifesaver achievement, which is worth 25 animal coins. For this, you have to revive a teammate with the teddy bear. This is another expensive item. You have to buy the teddy bear from the supply shop, and it costs $1,000. You need to save up, buy the bear, and then have a teammate who is willing to go down. Wait for a teammate to get eliminated by a monster sanity drain, or just simply you pointing a taser at them, run over to them with the teddy bear equipped, and use it to revive them. Once they get back up, you get the coin. Then, we have a massive group of achievements that are all linked together, the Patients Treated group. This isn't one single achievement, but a ladder of them. It starts with 25 patients treated, which gets you 5 coins. Then 50 patients for 20 coins, 100 patients for another 20 coins, 250 patients for 25 coins, and finally, 500 patients treated correctly will get you 50 animal coins. The crucial thing to understand here, and this is what makes it manageable, is that the number of patients treated is cumulative across all your matches. It doesn't reset when you die. You don't need to treat 500 patients in one single run. You can treat 10 patients, die, start a new game, treat 20 patients, and so on. They all add up. So you can just grind this out naturally over time just by playing Hazmat. Finally, we have arrived at the hardest tier of achievements. These require serious dedication, skill, and in some cases, patience with the game's current bugs. The first group here is another ladder, similar to the patients treated one, but this time it's based on the shift number you reach. You get 25 coins for reaching shift 10, 50 coins for shift 25, 100 coins for shift 50, and a huge 250 animal coins for reaching shift 100. This will take a very long time. Early shifts are fast, but once you get past shift 6, the shifts get much longer and more complex. A shift can take anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes depending on the anomalies and chaos. Trying to get to shift 100 is going to take you roughly 1,000 minutes or 16 hours of gameplay in a single run. Here's the most important thing you need to know right now about this reach shift ... achievement. It is currently bugged. There have been multiple reports, and I have experienced this, where you successfully reach shift 10 or shift 25 or even higher, but the game's journal system simply doesn't count it. You survive the shift, but when you check your journal, the achievement is still locked. It is incredibly frustrating to put in that kind of time, only to be denied the reward due to a technical issue. So, my very strong advice to you is this. Do not actively try to grind out the high shift achievements right now. It is not worth the risk of wasting 16 hours of your life. Keep an eye on the patch notes. Wait until the developers confirm they have fixed the achievement tracking issues before you attempt the long haul to shift 100. And that brings us to the final achievement on the list, called No Coffee or Chocolate. The description is simple: get to shift 15 without using either chocolate or coffee. This gives you 10 animal coins. As of right now, I have not been able to do this. I have tried multiple times, and I do not know the secret strategy to get to shift 15 without those items, as the coffee and chocolate are your main sources of sanity. I know there are some skilled players out there in the My channel, so if any of you have actually managed to pull this off and you have a reliable strategy for surviving until shift 15 without these things, please let me know down in the comments. Share your wisdom, because I am genuinely stumped on this one. So there you have it, guys. That is the complete roadmap to unlocking all 736 animal coins available in the achievement section of the new Animal Hospital Hazmat update. Do you want me to cover the anomaly and NPC part next time? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, good luck with your shifts out there, and I will see you guys in the next one.